All right, YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. Mikey speaking. Today I'm going to go over flex modification in regards to forbearance. Now, I made a video before talking about forbearance, who qualifies for forbearance, should you ask for it. Go over, check out that video. It'll give you a little bit more details. Today I want to go into after forbearance and an option that VA loans have. Now, a lot of the conventional loans are actually going to have the option to just defer the payment. So all you do is take the payment, throw it on the back end of the loan. Nice, easy, simple. For VA, as always, everything involving the military, it is not that simple. But I actually feel like keyword if, they allow us to do this, we have the better end of the stick, honestly. We have the option to do a flex modification. I want to go into what that is and why I think you all should request this, hoping that your loan officer, your bank, allows you to utilize this option that's out there for you. So there's different types of modifications. You can also look up one of my prior videos. I went into the different types of modifications. Flex modification is going to basically extend your mortgage. Example being, let's say your mortgage had 20 years left. You extend it for up to 40 years, which in my opinion, if they give you the option to extend it all the way, extend it. I was told up to 40 years by a bank. I don't know if that's true or not, if it has to be the full 40, but I do know that for sure you can extend it to 40 years, which is great. So if you had 20 years left, you add another 20 years to your mortgage, basically, or they basically redo it and put it as a 40. But then part two to this is what makes this amazing. But let's get back to the extension to the 40 years. Now, they'll give you a sheet explaining what your old payment was, what your new payment should be. But by extending your mortgage by 20 years, I don't want to say you're dropping your payments by half, but you're still going to drop your payments by a significant amount. If you were affected and you're not able to make your full payments, this is a great option for you to lower your payments, start putting more money away. And I love the whole 40 years. It still blows my mind. The second part of this is the interest rate. So if you haven't had a chance to refinance yet, you won't need to with this because it actually takes the interest rate and brings it down from where it is to current market levels. Now, let's say your interest rate is already low, then they should keep that interest rate. But if they can lower it because of market levels, which interest rates are at the all-time lows, they'll lower your interest rate, which will save you money as well. So not only are you extending your mortgage, but you're lowering your interest rate as well. Now, the third part to this, which is immediate savings, is basically you're taking that whole amount you owed. Mind you, you owed money for your principal, your interest. You don't incur any new additional interest, but the original interest you should have been paying still is there. So principal, interest, taxes, insurance, all that money still owed. By doing a loan modification, it adds that money to that 40-year loan. And now you're not stuck making this whole lump sum payment of, if you had a forbearance for 12 years at $1,000 a month, you're looking at you owe $12,000 plus the new month started. So now you're at 13. This will make a new payment for you. It's going to be less. It could potentially save you thousands of dollars. Let's say just between the addition to the 40 years, making your mortgage 40 years, and let's say you dropped your interest rate just by 0.5%. That, depending on how much you owed on the house and depending what your interest rate was and is, it can easily save you $300 or more a month. At 12 years, you're looking at, what is this, $3,600 a year that you're saving. Thousands and thousands of dollars you can save a year. This is a great option that they actually have for VA loans. Now, not all banks are really advertising it, and that's why I wanted to bring it up, so that way you know When you're getting towards the end of your forbearance period, go ahead, ask, say, hey, I heard about flex modification. What information can you give me? The second part to this whole thing, which I should have started with this. This is probably the most important because you need a time frame. So here I wrote down, when I was talking to the bank, they said it takes roughly 2 to 4 weeks to process the loan modification with the VA, because they do have to talk with the VA and then they can actually give you your loan modification. Again, this is military. So they say 2 to 4 weeks, minimum 2, maximum 4. I would bet it's going to take that whole 4 weeks with VA, especially because if you're coming at the end of this forbearance, I'm sure other people are as well. Give it 5 weeks. I highly recommend 5, 6 weeks prior, start the loan modification. Call your bank, start getting all the paperwork. I would call them now and say, hey, or I would say 2 months prior to the end of your forbearance period that you're wanting to reinstate it and not extend your forbearance. Talk to them like, what paperwork do I need? What information do I need? Now you have 8 weeks out, if you're asking 2 months prior, of everything you're going to need. So at 5 to 6 weeks prior, you can start providing them this information and get everything started. Be ahead of the game. You don't want to fall behind. I don't know. This is uncharted territory. It really is. I don't know if your loan modification doesn't get done before the end of your forbearance period, if it's still going to be able to go through, or is your credit going to take a hit? Is there extra paperwork that needs to be done? Get it done ahead of time. Start planning out 2 months prior, 8 weeks prior. Start gathering all your information, find out what you need and gather that information. As soon as I figure out what you need, I'll make another video on that. And then start submitting everything 5, 6 weeks prior. Be ahead of the bank. Have everything ready. Have no excuses why you can't get that loan modification. Whew, I'm out of breath, but that was a lot of information I needed to get out to you all. So I'm going to briefly check here, make sure I didn't miss anything. That looks like it's it. So I did want to say thank you again for watching this video. Please share this with anyone who needs help getting their loan, whether they need help getting forbearance, the different types of modification. Made videos on those because there's, I want to say, 4 to 5 different types of loan modification. Flex is going to be your best option. Anything involving this forbearance period, VA loans, send this to them. This is going to benefit people a lot. Have them reach out to me if they need any assistance. I'll do what I can. Also, reach out to the VA. They're going to be a great source of information in regards to this. But also reach out to your bank. Your bank's going to be the one ultimately who has to agree upon agreements on how to pay back the loan, whether it be actual payments, loan modification, etc. It sucks that us as service members don't get to defer our loans, but we do have other options which are beneficial towards us. I want to say thank you again for tuning in for another video and hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye.